Something serious is happening in the sky. And it's not just anything. Saturn, the lord of karma, has just met the North Node, the point of your destiny. This doesn't happen often. And when it does, the universe doesn't whisper. It demands. It redirects. It reveals what you didn't want to face. This meeting is happening in Pisces, the sign of spirituality, dreams, and illusions. But Saturn doesn't leave room for illusions. It demands reality, maturity, and responsibility. It's time to stop postponing important decisions. It's time to face what you came here to do. Because this is a turning point, and you can feel it. If you've been feeling pressure, tested, or backed into a corner these past few days, it's no coincidence. This is a karmic adjustment, a moment when your choices matter more than ever. And ignoring it might keep you stuck in old patterns for much longer. The question now is simple. Will you keep running, or will you finally walk toward what your soul came here to live? This is one of the most serious and spiritually significant transits of the year. On one side, we have Saturn, the planet of limits, responsibility, accountability, and structure. Nothing comes easy with him. Saturn makes you grow up the hard way. On the other side, the North Node, an invisible yet powerful point. It shows where your soul needs to go, even if it means leaving behind what's comfortable. Now imagine these two meeting. In Pisces, the sign of faith, intuition, sacrifice, and ego dissolution. The result? A clear spiritual wake-up call. Are you ready to align your life path with what truly matters? This transit doesn't tolerate illusions. It puts pressure on where you've been fooling yourself. It reveals truths you've tried to delay. And it demands commitment to what's real, not what's easy. If you've been waiting for a sign to change, this is the sign. When Saturn meets the North Node, time and destiny lock eyes. And at that moment, you feel the impact. Repeating situations that test you. People from the past reappearing as mirrors. Old wounds resurfacing to be healed or ignored once again. This transit brings a very clear choice. You either evolve or repeat. There's no more room for in-between. Pisces energy invites you to dream, but Saturn wants to see what you're actually doing with that dream. Still hoping everything will magically change, or are you ready to take responsibility for your path? Because if there's one thing Saturn won't tolerate, it's conscious self-sabotage. This is a line in the sand. What you decide now will echo for a long time. Not just in the material world, but in your spiritual journey. Not every decision changes your life, but some change everything, even if you only realize it later. And that's exactly what this moment represents. Saturn conjunct. The North Node in Pisces is like a spiritual checkpoint. It's as if the universe is saying, "You've made it this far. Now, who do you choose to be from here on out?" This conjunction isn't just some distant cosmic vibe. It's happening inside you. In the coming days, expect deep doubts about the path you're taking. That lingering what-if feeling about past decisions, moments of forced silence, where life pushes you inward. It may feel uncomfortable, but that discomfort is the price of clarity. You're being nudged toward your true path. Not the one that looks good on paper, but the one that resonates with your soul. And this turning point isn't random. You may find yourself facing two very different roads. One will ask for courage, responsibility, action. The other will offer comfort and stagnation. The choice is yours. But the impact will last longer than you think. Saturn and the North Node don't play around. They're recording what you do now and shaping what you'll reap later. You've been stuck for too long in things that looked right, but drained you on the inside. This conjunction is telling you, enough. Enough. Repeating emotional patterns because you're afraid of being alone. Enough maintaining a spiritual image that no longer reflects who you are. Enough romanticizing situations or people who are taking you nowhere. Pisces connects you to the divine, the unseen, the sensitive. But it can also trap you in fantasy. And that's where Saturn steps in as the teacher. He doesn't want you to abandon your dreams. He wants you to build the structure to make them real. And to do that, you'll need to let go of empty promises. Break away from stories you've made up in your head, but never lived out. Admit your soul is ready for a new chapter, even if that means being alone for a while. This is the level of spiritual maturity most people avoid. But if you stay, if you have the courage to go through it, what comes next is so much lighter. Because when you release the illusion, that's when wisdom steps in. You don't need to have all the answers, but you do need to be willing to listen to what your soul has been screaming for a while now. This conjunction between Saturn and the North Node in Pisces doesn't hand you a step-by-step guide. It hands you a mirror, a clear reflection of what you've been postponing, of what you pretend not to see, of what you feel, but haven't had the courage to admit. Maybe it's time to close a chapter. Maybe it's time to stop trying to control everything. Maybe it's time to do that one thing you've been avoiding for months or years. And all of it can happen in silence. No one else needs to know. But you do. You feel it. This transit doesn't come with easy promises. It comes with inner pressure, discomfort, and the unmistakable sense that something needs to change now. But at the same time, there's a subtle wave of trust, a sense that if you let go, if you surrender, if you accept, something greater will guide you. And this is where Pisces comes in. This sign speaks of faith, but not blind faith. Faith born from those who've hit rock bottom and come back stronger. Faith that says, I don't know what's next, but I know I can't keep denying who I am. It's a surrender with no guarantees, but with deep purpose. The universe is calling you to a new level of awareness, to a new frequency of life. But that new level requires something in return. Your former self. Are you willing to let it die, even if it's protected you until now? Because only when you release the old can the new come in. And yes, you will feel fear. But fear isn't a sign to stop. It's a sign that you're standing at the threshold of a portal that could change everything. This moment isn't light, but it is liberating. Saturn and the North Node don't meet every day. And when they do, in Pisces, they're not asking for small tweaks. They're asking for the courage to live what your soul has known all along. This transit places you at a crossroads. On one side, repetition. On the other, the unknown, and that's where the real test happens. You'll notice old patterns pulling you back, connections that once mattered, but now feel hollow, easy paths that distract but don't fulfill. And at the same time, something new begins to emerge, a deeper kind of silence, a strange yet familiar clarity, a desire to break free, even without knowing what's on the other side. This is the spiritual space where destiny is woven, not through control, but through conscious surrender. And surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means remembering who you really are, beyond everything you've been told you should be. Saturn isn't here to punish you. He's here to grow you. And the North Node isn't here to scare you. It's here to align you. The choice you make now might be invisible, but it will be felt by you, by your cycles, by your next chapters. Do you want to live what's rightfully yours? Or keep postponing your truth a little longer? You don't have to say the answer out loud, but you will feel it. Drop a comment below. I choose to align with my destiny. And share this video with someone you know is standing at the same turning point. See you in the next cycle.